Have you ever faced this situation? You are standing right in front of your child, speaking very loud and clear, but your child behaves as if you are completely invisible. You gently remind them, honey, put away the toys, but the reply is just silence. Your child pretends not to hear, or worse, looks straight into your eyes and casually screams no and runs away. In that moment, do you feel like a worthless person in front of your child? Or do you feel so helpless that you just want to scream out loud to drown out the TV, the noise, just so your child turns around to look at you once? And then after those scoldings, what is left inside you is not satisfaction, but a terrible sense of guilt for not keeping your calm with your child. I truly understand that feeling of helplessness. Most parents I have met complain about these endless battles, the endless bargaining, the stalling, the delaying, or the stubborn back talk. But what if I told you, you don't need to be an aggressive parent or use physical punishment, yet your child can still listen to you? How would you feel? Would you believe this is the truth or just a silly joke? In today's video, I will share with you a 5-step method. This is not empty textbook theory, but a practical tool that has helped hundreds of children go from pretending to be deaf to voluntarily and happily cooperating after just a short time. Are you curious to know how to turn those morning screaming matches into cooperative hugs? If the answer is why yes, hit subscribe right now so you don't miss out on these effortless parenting secrets. And now, let's go into the first step to end the war in your family. Imagine your morning starting without screaming, without helpless rushing. Sounds like a dream, right? But to make that dream come true, we must fix the very first mistake that 90% of parents make, the disconnection mistake. Visualize this so it's easy to understand. When your child is glued to the TV or engrossed in building Lego, their brain automatically switches on a mode called noise isolation. At this moment, your child is exactly like they are wearing a pair of the most high-end noise-canceling headphones. Every word you shout from the kitchen or from the doorway, go take a bath, clean up the toys now, it's just like wind passing their ears. It doesn't stick at all. Let me ask you honestly, have you ever been scrolling through your phone watching a thrilling movie? Your husband or wife asks a question, you nod, yeah, but 5 seconds later you are blank, wait. What did you just say? See, your child is exactly like that. It's not that your child is stubborn, it's that your child hasn't heard you yet. So secret number 1 is stop being a distant loudspeaker. Get close and take off the headphones for your child. You need to go right next to your child, and most importantly, squat down. Why must it be squatting down and not standing? Here is a very cool scientific secret from Harvard University that few people know. We humans, since primitive times, have had an instinctive fear of big things standing towering above us. When you stand tall and point your finger down at your child's face, the danger sensor in your child's brain, as called the amygdala, will sound an alarm. Danger! There is a giant overpowering me! And when the brain has sounded the alarm, the child only has 2 reactions. 1 is to shrink in fear, 2 is to bristle up and resist. The window for listening at this moment has been completely slammed shut. Now, try putting your hand on your heart and ask yourself, every time I give an order, am I standing towering like a difficult boss? Or am I lowering myself like a teammate? Am I talking to my child's eyes, or am I giving orders to my child's back? When you lower yourself to eye level, you are sending a signal, Mom is here on your side, it's safe. At this moment, the child's brain finally agrees to open the door to hear you speak. Touch your child's hand gently, call their name, and wait. Wait for the moment your child's eyes look into your eyes. That is when the Wi-Fi has connected successfully. But wait, I know every child is a unique personality, so be flexible. If your child is a sensitive or shy childie, don't force them to stare into your eyes. They will be scared. Sit down next to them, look together at the toy they are holding. That is called parallel connection. If your child is older or a teenager, don't stroke their cheek like a baby anymore. Pat their shoulder or sit down on the chair opposite like 2 adult men, women talking to each other. The ego at this age is very big. Respect wins. Okay, after your child has looked at you, has taken off the headphones, has connected Wi-Fi. Now is the time for you to speak. And this is when we often make the next deadly mistake, being greedy with words. Usually, we will fire a rapid burst. Honey, clean up the toys, then go get the towel, go wash your face. Oh, remember to put on socks. Hurry up, it's late for school. Does that sound familiar? To adults, that sentence is very normal. But to children, that is an information disaster. Imagine inside your child's head there is a whiteboard. The trouble is, The adult's board is huge, recording a dozen things, but the board in a child's head is tiny, just the size of a hand. When you shoot a burst of 5 tasks at the same time, that tiny board gets written all over, messy and overloaded immediately. The child will crash. The result is the child stands there frozen or only remembers the very last task, which is put on socks, and the pile of toys remains messy as is. So how to write on that tiny board so the child understands and does it immediately? We will move to step 2. Step 2, the method match the whiteboard. All right, after you have successfully connected, your child has looked at you, the Wi-Fi has full bars. Now is the time for us to upload information into your child's head. I call this second step the technique, match the whiteboard. Remember that tiny memo board in your child's head that I just mentioned. Our biggest mistake is trying to write a novel on a sticky note. To get your child to listen, you must know the exact memory capacity of your child at each age. Ask yourself, am I assigning tasks that fit their capacity, or am I accidentally crashing that little brain? I will break down the formula for you apply immediately for the 1 gigabyte memory. Group children about 18 months to say, at this age, your child's board can hold on to one action. If you say, pick up the ball and bring it here, your child will stand frozen due to overload. Instead, say, pick up the ball, period. When your child is done, praise them, then give the next command. Don't be greedy. For the upgraded memory, Group E, children 2 years old E, at this point, your child starts to understand 2 steps, but with the condition that these 2 steps must be linked together like chain links. You should say, pick up the ball, A and D, put it in the baskets, as these 2 actions are closely related. You should not say, pick up the ball, A and D, go get your shoes. These 2 tasks have nothing to do with each other. Your child will forget about getting the shoes immediately. For the multitasking memory group, children 3-5 years old D, 3 years old, your child is getting fancier. They can do 2 unrelated tasks. For example, give the teddy bear to mommy, TN, go pick up that ball. 5 years old now, the whiteboard is bigger. Your child can process a chain of 3 actions, put away the ball, get your shoes, then go to the car. Knowing your child's capacity will help you stop being irritable. You will understand that your child not doing it is not because they are naughty, but simply because they don't have enough RAM to process it yet. But wait, correct capacity is not enough. You also need the correct language. There is a trap I call the ambiguity trap. We often say, clean up, behave, get ready. To children, these words are too abstract. What is clean up? Is it putting away the car or the doll? Is it stuffing it in the closet or putting it on the shelf? Instead of speaking generally, create a very specific GPS map. Pick up all these blocks, put them into that blue box. The more specific, the easier it is for the child to comply. And most importantly, drop the habit of giving orders with the word no. There is an interesting fact about the brain. If I tell you, don't think of a pink elephant, what are you thinking about? Definitely the pink elephant. Children are the same. When you scream, don't run, the child's brain deletes the word don't and only catches the word are you ang? So the child runs even harder. When you say, don't climb on the table, the child will immediately want to try climbing. Flip the script, tell your child what they MUST do, not what they used to now to do. Instead of don't run, say walk gently. Instead of don't climb the table, say put your bottom on the chair. Sounds simple, right? But trust me, this small change in wording will completely change the outcome of the game. And finally, I have a special secret for parents with forgetful children or kids with signs of ADHD. For these special kids, words fly away and slip away extremely fast. Don't try to talk too much, it's useless. Use a visual Marie Poen. Instead of screaming your lungs out every morning, go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth! Stick a funny picture of a toothbrush right at the bathroom door or on the wall. When needed, you just need to point at that picture. Why is this effective? Because images don't know how to lie, and importantly, images don't know how to nag. It creates no pressure and doesn't create the feeling of mom droning on in their ear. The child sees it, remembers, and does it voluntarily. All right, after you have spoken briefly and clearly about what needs to be done, now comes step 3. This is the step where I bet 99% of us parents slip on a banana peel and fail. That step is hit the pause button. Imagine your child's head is like an old computer with spotty internet connection. When you give a command, that machine doesn't run immediately. It needs to show the loading circle. Scientists have measured that this circle spins for about 7 to 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, the child's brain is working hard from hearing mom's voice, understanding mom's meaning, planning, and finally controlling their limbs to follow through. But what is our mistake? We say it and want the child to do it instantly. Seeing the child sit still because they are loading data, we get impatient, we remind, we rush. That action is exactly like when a computer is frozen and you keep clicking the mouse continuously. The result, the system crashes completely. The child gets confused and you go crazy. So the secret here is super easy. After giving the command, zip your lip and count silently in your head from 1 to 10. In those 10 seconds, repeating is forbidden. Nagging is forbidden. Give your child time to process the information. Usually by the 8th second, the child will stand up and do it. But life isn't a dream. There will be times when you count to 10, you bend down to help put on their shoes, and boom, the child jerks their hand away, screams in your face, or even smacks your hand. At this moment, the blood rushes to your head. What is our instinct? It is to yell, to use adult strength to pin the child down and force the shoes on. Stop immediately. If you do that, you are turning the living room into a wrestling ring, and in that wrestling match, no one wins. You are tired, and the child learns, to win, I must use violence. Instead, use this 2-step move. Extremely simple, but incredibly powerful. Step 1, back off immediately for safety. When the child swings to hit, you take a step back. Don't try to struggle. This act of backing off sends a powerful message without words. Mom does not accept violence. Mom will not fight with you. Step 2E. Let the child taste reality. Don't threaten spanking. It's useless. Tell the child the cold, hard truth that is about to happen. Your voice must be very calm. Even a little cold is fine. For example, with the shoes, you say, I see you don't want mom to help. Fine. But school is starting now. I will wait 1 more minute. If you don't put on your shoes, you will have to walk barefoot to the car and carry your shoes yourself. It is your choice. Why does this sink in deeper than a spanking? Because you pass the villain role to Mr. Reality. Walking barefoot hurts. It is cold. That is because the child chose it, not because mom punished them. The child will learn a lifelong lesson. If I don't do it, I suffer the consequences. Just these 2 steps, and the child will look at you with completely different eyes. The child will see that parents mean what they say, very credible, not just empty screaming. And trust me, next time when you count to 10, the child will think twice before raising a hand to hit back. Let's assume after you count silently to the 8th or 9th second, your child stands up and follows the request. Wonderful. You want to throw a party, right? But wait, don't turn your back and walk away to do other things just yet. This is the golden moment for you to unleash the finishing move, ensuring that tomorrow and the day after, your child will continue to listen to you. That is step 4, targeted praise. Drop the autopilot praise immediately. Usually, when the child finishes, we often blurt out a very good, so good job. It sounds positive, but let me be honest. To a child's brain, those words are as bland as plain water. They are too generic. The child hears them and doesn't know what they are good at or why they are being good. The secret here is turn your praise into a camera. A camera doesn't know how to lie, and a camera records every single detail of the action. Describe exactly what your child just achieved. For example, instead of saying you are so good, say, wow, I love how you put on your shoes quick as a flash without needing any help. Or instead of saying very good, say excellent. You picked up every single Lego block and put them in the bin. Why is this tiny change so powerful? First, it's like you are handing your child a medal engraved with that specific action. The child will clearly understand it. So mom likes it when I clean up thoroughly. She's not just giving random praise. Second, and most importantly, it activates a sense of pride inside the child. When you praise specifically, your child's eyes will light up. They feel their effort is acknowledged, and their brain will automatically record that feeling of joy to repeat this action next time. See, just by changing the way you speak a little bit, you are teaching your child a valuable lesson. When I cooperate, I receive positive attention and love from my parents. But life isn't always smooth sailing. There will be stormy days, even though you connected, spoke briefly, and patiently counted to 10, yet your child still stands there frozen or shakes their head violently refusing to do it. At this moment, don't lose your temper yet. We still have one final weapon in our hands. That is step 5. And if this happens, it's time to execute step 5 assistance. There will be days when even though you've done every step from connecting to waiting, your child still sits there frozen like a rock or shakes their head violently refusing to do it. At this moment, don't lose your temper yet. We still have one final weapon in our hands. That is step 5e assistance, or as I often call it, timely intervention. The core principle here is You want your child to understand that mom and dad's words are the truth, a command that must be executed right now, not a suggestion they can ignore until mom screams. So, if you have counted to 10 and your child hasn't budged, roll up your sleeves and intervene immediately. Don't stand there repeating the old sentence like a broken record. Start by simplifying the request. For example, you say, "Go change your clothes." Your child still sits still playing with toys. Instead of repeating that whole sentence, break it down very small. Point at the shorts and say briefly, "Put on the shorts." If the child still doesn't do it, this is when you use action instead of words. Walk over to your child, calmly say, "Sit down here," while pointing at the chair. Then you take the pants, put them in your child's hand and say, "Pick up the pants." Finally say, "Now put your feet in," and use your hands to help them pull the pants up if needed. The magic lies here. As soon as your child completes that tiny step, even if you helped, praise them immediately. "Wow, you put your feet in fast. Good job, you pulled the pants up already." This sends a powerful message like mom will not give up. This task must definitely be finished, but I am here to help you, not to scold you. Gradually, the child will learn the lesson. I have to do it anyway. It's better to do it myself quickly to get praise than to wait for mom to do it for me. However, I also want to tell you something from the heart. There will be days when your child doesn't want to cooperate at all. They are tired, hungry, or simply having a bad day. That is as normal as breathing. Your child is human. They have their own emotions just like us. Not every time they resist is because you taught them wrong. But the good news is, even on the most stubborn days, when they turn into tough little warriors, we still have ways to turn the tables. There are 4 extremely simple but incredibly effective psychological techniques to handle these moody days. I won't make you wait long. I will share those 4 secrets in detail in the very next video. If you are too tired of the power struggles at home and want to find peace again, remember to watch that video. Trust me, it will be a lifesaver for you. Finally, thank you so much for watching until the very end. If you found this video helpful and valuable, please share it with anyone you think needs to hear this message. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my latest videos. I wish you a day full of joy and happiness.